Elon Musk's baby mother and, of course, former MAGA insider Ashley St. Clair, she dropped an absolutely terrifying truth bomb on us the other day that I'm going to play for you here in just a second. Now, we had Ashley on Crystal Kylan Friends, and I highly recommend you go check out that interview. It is absolutely mind-boggling. The inside tea that she has on these vile, disgusting, deranged MAGA cretins. So highly recommend you check that out. But listen to what she says here about Elon, and when they were together, Elon would open up to her about all sorts of stuff. And one of the things he opened up about is the election and the role that he played in the election, and how perhaps he had quite a bit of control over the outcome of the 2024 election. So here we go. Let's listen.
And then October rolls around. And in October, Elon tells me that he is ready to release his, in his words, anomaly in the Matrix. And I am like, oh, like, who's that? And he says that he has 10,000 lasers in space, referring to his satellites. I say, because I am like rather uncomfortable and I know the gravity of what he's trying to tell me right now, I say, wow, finally a focus on the Jewish vote. He keeps going and he says, you know, this is not a piece that they'll see on the chessboard. And I straight up tell him, I say, I would ask more, but I really don't want to be deposed. To which he says, very wise. Shortly after that, you know, he's involved with America PAC and all of this other stuff, and he's sending me some internal data from America PAC, real-time Delta vote metrics. And I am just like, how the fuck do you have this sort of data? You don't get this from door knocking, because that was one of my first jobs in politics was in campaigns and cleaning up this bad data from door knocking, because the vendors that America PAC is using at this point is a vendor that hires Craigslist crackheads for door knocking. And I wish I was exaggerating there, but I'm not. I know, like, I have caused harm with my rhetoric. However, I never, like, sought out to cause harm. Like, there were parts of me that really wanted, like, the best for the country, for America, for democracy. And one thing is I have always, always hated big tech. So then to have arguably the most powerful man in the world who is sending me things about, you know, using his space technology in the election. I should also say that I have all of this backed up with many people with explicit instructions should anything happen to me, okay? But this was something that I was internally wrestling with while publicly not really showing that I was having any of these internal ethical conflicts with myself regarding this information. And then on election night itself, Elon, you know, left Mar-a-Lago early. I was at Mar-a-Lago, and he told me over text. He's like, yeah, I knew hours ago that Trump won. My team has the best real-time data anywhere. First of all, how the fuck do you have real-time data on elections? How do you have real-time data? I could not understand that. I don't know that I ever will. I saw some shit, guys. Like, I saw some shit, and I'm fighting really hard to keep my voice because I saw shit that impacts everyone. And if I was self-interested, I have been offered the self-interested deal to shut up and not talk about anything. But what I can tell you is I've not been offered certain deals just because I know that he's weird, okay? I saw some shit.
So she's implying, if not outright saying there, that Elon told her that he fucked with the election and stole it for Trump. That's the not so subtle message here. That is a huge, huge deal that she's now out there saying this. She claims she has receipts, basic evidence of him saying such things. Like, she can verify every single part of her story here, which I don't deny because she's brought many receipts in the past as well when talking about these vile, disgusting MAGA cretins. But this is this is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. I mean, I remember we had on Crystal Kyle and Friends Greg Palast. Greg Palast is a legendary reporter. And I remember that he laid out his case. Now, according to Greg Palast, Kamala won the election and Trump lost the election. But he says the Republicans stole it using basically their old bag of tricks of ballot spoiling and ballot purging and Jim Crow tactics in a bunch of different states where you can challenge a ballot and it gets thrown out, and then you'd have to, they flip the burden of proof and make it so like it's automatically thrown out, and then you fill out a provisional ballots, but only like half the provisional ballots get counted. You don't have to take my word for any of this. You can go watch the Crystal Kyle and Friends thing that we did with Greg Palast. You can get all of the details because he explains it in a tremendous amount of detail. But Greg Palast said to us, because I asked him specifically about this theory that Elon Musk, was able to use his technological ability to basically hack the election and steal it for Trump using like Starlink effectively. And his take on it was like, that theory I don't believe at all. He was like, that I don't see how he could do that, and I've never seen evidence to that effect. So Greg Palast, who says he thinks Kamala won about 280 electoral college votes, and Kamala did win the election, he says Elon didn't actually steal it. However, now you have Ashley St. Clair saying that he did, and he basically implied it, if not outright, said it to her. And don't forget, y'all, this is not the first time we've had this conversation, okay? In the wake of the election, remember these stories that were told? Remember these curious things that were said by Trump, by Elon, by others? Listen to this, guys.
We don't need votes. I tell my people, I don't need any votes. We got all the votes we need. I don't need votes. We don't need votes. We got more votes than anybody's ever had.
That is a weird thing to say, isn't it? This was on the campaign trail leading up to the election, and he keeps saying, we don't need votes. We don't need votes. We don't need your votes. Basically the opposite of what every politician says. Every politician is like, get out there and vote. Get out there and vote for me. Vote for us. Vote the party line. Vote, vote, vote. Here he's going, I don't need your votes. And he said it over and over and over and over and over. Let's keep going.
You don't have to vote. Don't worry about voting. The voting, we got plenty of votes. We can take the Senate pretty easily. And I think with our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret.
Our little secret is having an impact? Bro, what? What?
He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over. Computers are the greatest. He looked at some that were just shipped in, some of these vote counting computers. He knew it before it even came in the door. He looked like at the back of it. Oh, I know that one.
I'm a technologist. I know a lot about computers. And I'm like, the last thing I would do is trust the computer program.
Oh, my word. Look, man, take it or leave it, believe it or don't believe it, but good googly moogly. This, y'all are not helping your case here. Every single thing you're saying here is just short of like, yeah, I stole that shit and I'd do it again. Like, what the fuck?
That's the computer program. Because it's just too easy to hack. It's too easy to add just one.
Oh, my word. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, now this one is crazy. So Elon was interviewed by Tucker, leading up to the election. And Elon has one of his kids here. And listen to the banter with the kid and pay close attention to what he's saying.
Yeah, we're in SpaceX and quietly just do whatever we want.
What's your assessment? Did this work? Is he going to win?
Yeah, it is. Never know, but never know.
They'll never know. At SpaceX, we can do whatever we want. Is he going to win? Yeah, he's going to win. They'll never know. Come on, man.
You're fucked, dude.
I'm fucked. If he loses, I'm fucked.
It does seem that way.
So literally, in other words, establishing an incentive. Like Elon thought, if Trump loses, I'm definitely going to prison. That's what Elon thought. So the incentive is there. Like, I better fucking make sure that he wins, if you know what I'm saying. Here we go.
You can't just be like,
Yeah, I'm like, how long do you think my prison sentence is going to be? Do you think, will I see my children? I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Here's Joe Rogan basically sort of verifying some of what Ashley St. Clair is saying here. He said this in the immediate aftermath of the election. Listen to this.
Apparently, Elon created an app, and he knew who won 4 hours before the results. So as the results were coming in, before 4 hours before they called it, Dana White told me Elon was like, "I'm leaving. It's over. Donald won." Dana, I haven't even talked to Elon about this. I don't know like the Dana translation, but Dana said he had an app, and he was like showing him. He's like, "It's over."
That's not enough for you. How about this one? This is a post from Elon Musk. I believe this was when Trump and Elon broke up for a little bit there, right? Elon said, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Democrats would control the House and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude. Without me, Trump would have lost the election," he says. There's an Occam's razor interpretation of that, which sort of coincides with exactly what Ashley St. Clair is saying, exactly what Trump implied, exactly what Elon's kid accidentally admitted on Tucker's show, exactly what Elon himself has said previously, exactly what Rogan just said there. Damn, bro. Damn. And let's not forget, man, Trump himself has repeatedly hinted, not only has he rolled out like 6 or 7 different plans to try to steal the midterms, but also 2028. And this is a guy who desperately wants to stay in power, and here's countless examples of that.
John is great, and she is a great gentleman. He's now president for life. No, he's great. Look, he was able to do that. I think it's great. Maybe we'll have to give that a shot someday.
We're going to win 4 more years in the White House, and then after that we'll negotiate, right? Because we're probably, based on the way we were treated, we're probably entitled to another 4 after that. FDR, 16 years. Almost 16 years. He was 4-term. I don't know. Are we going to be considered 3-term or 2-term? You tell me. Ronnie, what do you think? Christians, get out and vote. Just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years. You know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
President Trump told House Republicans, "I suspect I won't be running again unless you say he's so good we got to figure something else out."
It will be the greatest honor of my life to serve not once, but twice, or 3 times, or 4 times. I've raised a lot of money for the next race that I assume I can't use for myself, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't know. I think I'm not allowed to run again. I'm not sure. Am I allowed to run again, Mike? I better not get you involved in that argument. And I do that despite the fact that they say I can't run again. That's the expression, sir. Then somebody said, "I don't think you can." Oh, should I run again? You tell me. There's your controversy right there.
President Trump is not ruling out the possibility of seeking a 3rd term. In an exclusive phone interview with NBC's Kristen Welker, he says that there are, quote, methods for doing so, and that a lot of people want me to do it. Asked to clarify, he said, "I'm not joking."
So understand something, man. We know, as a matter of fact, they tried to steal it in 2020 with the fake elector slate with January 6th. Everybody knows that. As he was stealing an election, he would point his finger at the Democrats and Biden and go, "They're stealing the election." The oldest trick in the book. It's called projection. It's psychological projection. So try to steal it in 2020. Here he is hinting, implying, outright saying, like, yeah, maybe I'll run for a 3rd term. Clearly doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't have any qualms about cheating, stealing it, right? And then you have all these bizarre quotes and Ashley St. Clair, an insider, who basically is verifying again that internally, Elon is basically implying like, yeah, I gave him a little bit of help, didn't I? Now add that to what Greg Palast has said with the ballot spoiling and the ballot purging and all of these old school methods Republicans have to put their thumb on the scale and try to influence the outcome. But look, based on all this, the conversation is now wide open again. People are now speculating yet again. Like, hey, maybe it's actually worse than we thought. Maybe it's not just the Jim Crow tactics and the ballot spoiling and the ballot purging and the voter disenfranchisement and the threats that are called into certain precincts, which have mostly Democratic voters and black and brown voters. Maybe it's not just that. Maybe it's actually worse than what we realize. And maybe Ashley St. Clair's onto something. So I'll tell you one thing for sure. I don't trust these motherfuckers at all, even a little bit. However bad we always thought it was, eventually it would be proven to us like, no, it's actually worse on every front. You go, oh, like it's bad, but is it that bad? And then you learn very quickly, oh yeah, it's that bad. It's actually worse than the worst case scenario. Every time it's like that with these people. So would it surprise me if it was even more direct and more explicit? It would not surprise me at all, y'all. So Ashley St. Clair, yet again, spilling all the tea. And this tea is super hot. This tea is burning your lips, burning your tongue, burning your esophagus. I mean, holy shit, man. If this shit is true, all I can say is it should be fucking investigated to the high heavens, right? And you should have every media outlet in the country should be doing a deep dive on this shit and looking for more evidence that backs it up. Because there's enough circumstantial stuff there that you'd be crazy to shove your head in the sand and pretend like it's a crazy theory.
Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.